Hey Quiz Taco fam! Welcome back to another hilarious challenge. Today's game is Never Have I Ever, the silly edition, where we find out just how goofy you really are. If you've done it, give yourself a point. Let's see your total at the end in the comments. Grab your friends, grab your scorecard, and get ready to see how many of these silly things you've actually done. Ready? Let's get started. Never have I ever laughed so hard that I snorted. Never have I ever waved back at somebody who wasn't waving at me. Never have I ever walked into the wrong restroom by accident. Never have I ever tripped over absolutely nothing. Never have I ever talked to myself in public. Never have I ever pretended to text to avoid someone. Never have I ever sang in the shower like I'm on stage. Never have I ever forgotten what day it was. Never have I ever tried to take a selfie and accidentally opened the front camera. Never have I ever said "you too" to the waiter after they said "enjoy your meal." Never have I ever danced in my room when nobody was watching. Never have I ever worn clothes inside out all day without noticing. Never have I ever laughed at my own joke. Never have I ever made a weird face in the mirror for fun. Never have I ever texted the wrong person something embarrassing. Never have I ever spilled something right after saying, "I got this." Never have I ever forgotten someone's name immediately after hearing it. Never have I ever made a TikTok that I never posted. Never have I ever talked to a pet like it could actually answer me. Never have I ever tripped while walking upstairs. Never have I ever checked the fridge hoping new food would magically appear. Never have I ever made a funny face while sneezing. Never have I ever laughed at something I shouldn't have. Never have I ever rewatched my favorite childhood cartoon as an adult. Never have I ever fallen asleep while watching a movie. Never have I ever searched for my phone while it was in my hand. Never have I ever blamed a fart on someone else. Never have I ever eaten something I dropped on the floor. The 5-second rule. Never have I ever forgotten why I walked into a room. Never have I ever taken more than 20 selfies to get the perfect one. Never have I ever tried to look cool and failed miserably. Never have I ever called a teacher mom or dad by accident. Never have I ever pretended to know the lyrics, but just mumbled. Never have I ever laughed so hard that I cried. Never have I ever accidentally liked an old post while stalking somebody. Never have I ever pretended to be on the phone to avoid talking to someone. Never have I ever made sound effects for what I was doing. Never have I ever sent a message and instantly regretted it. Never have I ever worn mismatched socks on purpose. Never have I ever stayed up way too late watching random YouTube videos. Never have I ever used a funny filter and couldn't stop laughing. Never have I ever eaten dessert before dinner. Never have I ever said ouch when nothing happened. Never have I ever scared myself in the dark. Never have I ever dropped my phone on my face while lying down. Never have I ever laughed in a serious situation. Never have I ever tried to act cool after tripping. Never have I ever looked behind me when someone said hey, but they meant somebody else. Never have I ever practiced an argument in my head. Never have I ever tried to blow on hot food and accidentally spit on it. Alright, Quiz Taco fam, how many have you done? Comment your score below. 0 to 10 means you're kinda serious, 11 to 30 means you're delightfully silly, and 31 plus means you're an absolute legend of chaos. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for more fun quizzes, and we'll see you in the next challenge. Bye for now.